Now to that sweeping racketeering case against Donald Trump in Georgia. A Fulton County judge today dismissing 6 of the 41 counts against the former president and top allies Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows. It's considered a legal setback for prosecutors, but Trump still faces 10 charges that could result in decades in jail. Here's CBS's Nikole Killion.
Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee threw out charges that accuse former President Trump and several of his co-defendants of pressuring public officers to violate their oaths as part of an alleged effort to overturn the 2020 election. McAfee said District Attorney Fani Willis and her prosecutors were not specific enough about the violations, writing, "The lack of detail concerning an essential legal element is fatal." Just 3 of Trump's 13 counts were tossed, including one for his January 2021 phone call to Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
Trump's legal team applauded the ruling.
It was a step in the right direction. It goes to the sloppiness of, frankly, the prosecutors down there.
Former federal prosecutor Tom Dupree said it was only a partial victory for Trump.
The judge's decision effectively has the result of narrowing the case against Trump and the other defendants. It doesn't eliminate it entirely, though.
It is a lie.
McAfee's ruling comes ahead of a highly anticipated decision this week about whether Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade should be disqualified from the election interference case. Last month, the pair admitted to having a romantic relationship for about a year after Wade was hired, but denied any wrongdoing.
The romantic relationship ended before the indictment was returned, yes or no?
To a man, yes.
The sprawling racketeering case against the former president and his associates remains largely intact. But if Willis is disqualified, another attorney could be assigned to the case, which could significantly impact the proceedings. Nora?
And potentially delay them. Nikole Killion, thank you so much.
Guys, this is freaking amazing. Oh, it's falling apart. It's falling apart on the Democrats, and they don't know what to do. So as you guys heard, the Georgia judge dismissed 6 charges in Trump's election interference case. Headline, this is Washington Post, right? Trump now faces 10 charges instead of 13. He is still accused of criminally conspiring to try to overturn the 22 presidential election. My honest opinion, it's going to fall apart. With Fannie Mae and, her boyfriend who cheated on his wife while married with Fannie, and the entanglement, and she paid him more money, and the trips she was taking with him, and, the whole scandal that she ran the entire and played everybody in Georgia, and, how she's this godly woman who goes and preaches in church, and I hope that church loses its 501c3 status for promoting a political individual inside of a church. That church should lose its 501c3 nonprofit, because she went in there to preach her BS excuse of a job. She got her job as a BS district attorney, and she campaigned on bringing charges against Trump, and here we are. But now it's falling apart. So it's great. But let's read this. A Georgia judge dismissed 3 of the 13 charges against former President Donald Trump and some of the charges against his allies in the sweeping election interference case, but declined to dismiss the entire indictment. He's going to do it later. In a 9-page order issued Wednesday, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee dismissed 6 of the 41 counts in the indictment against Trump and his allies, who are accused of conspiring to try to overturn the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. All of the dismissed charges are related to pressures that Trump or 5 of his co-defendants allegedly put on state officials to change the results. It was a phone call asking, hey man, go find me the 11,000 votes, which means recount the damn votes, dismiss or get rid of all the faulty ones. the ones that don't have signatures and all that stuff. It's a recount request. Anyways, as written, these 6 counts contain all these essential elements of the crime but fail to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of the commission. The underlying felony solicited, McAfee wrote. Basically, he dismissed the foundation of the whole case. So as he goes through, or as the case progresses through trial or whatever, he basically dismantled the foundation of the entire case against Trump. So once it goes through trial, there's no longer those foundations, and they're not available to be used because they've been dismissed, so they can't present it anymore. So that whole case basically falls apart. She got nothing else to go by. So he's basically wasting time. And, once he dismisses Fanny and, her boyfriend from the case, they're probably going to try to reassign, as, the individual said, they try to reassign individuals to the case, which is going to push back the case a lot longer, and hopefully by then Trump is in office, and this all is just going to disappear, and hopefully he goes after all of them and get rid of them all, disbar them or whatever, because this is 100% political persecution. The judge added, this does not mean the entire indictment is dismissed. McAfee pointedly declined a defense request challenging the overt acts tied to charges, meaning they are still part of the overall indictment. Prosecutors can still present evidence related to the dropped charges, as they argue that Trump and his allies criminally conspired to try to overturn the election. They don't have any more evidence. That's the problem. Well, it's not a problem. That's the thing. The 6th count, which also implicated former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and former Trump campaign attorney Robert Cheeley. John Eastman and Ray Smith were related to an alleged pressure campaign against elected officials, including Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, members of the Georgia Senate, and then Georgia House Speaker David Raskin, to undo Trump's loss in the state. One of the 3 charges against Trump that was dropped was related to the phone call Trump and Maddow made to Raffensperger on January 2, 2021, in which Trump told his fellow Republican he wanted to find enough votes to overturn his defeat in Georgia, a recorded conversation that sparked the investigation to Trump and his allies when it was made public. The 2nd charge in related to a December 7, 2020 phone call Trump made to Ralston, urging him to convene a special session of the legislature to reverse Joe Biden's narrow victory in the state. The 3rd involved a letter Trump sent to Raffensperger in September 2021, calling on the Secretary of State to overturn the election and announce the true winner. Trump still faces 10 charges in the case, including violating the State Racketeering Act and filing false documents. So, as you guys are witness of this entire Democrat persecution of Trump and basically any Republican that goes against the establishment, it's falling flat on its face, and it's turning into a banana republic, and it's turning to Haiti. I mean, look what's happening in Haiti, guys. A guy named Barbecue is going to be taking over Haiti. So, we might have a guy named Smoker taking over the United States soon. Talking about Biden. But this whole thing sets this whole case back months. And I mean months. And hopefully the judge comes out and dismisses Fanny and her boyfriend out of this stupid case and this stupid case, and just, eventually just gets dropped and everybody forgets about it. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. But, this is so stupid. They have gone to moon and back to try to get Trump out of the race. And they can't. They can't fathom the fact that he's winning every state, right? Except Vermont. And yeah, so this is actually good news. I mean, there's more fight in him. So there's more things to fight against this corrupt system. So hopefully things will work out. And let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. And most importantly, share and subscribe. Peace out.